Maydena, the place where we grew up, a town isolated and surrounded by massive and sprawling forests. It's beautiful, but also strange, not because of its isolation and townfolk, but because of the strange occurrences that people have experienced. This even includes ourselves. It has been 7 years now. I can still remember the figure vividly. I heard a thump about 30 to 40 meters up the hill. I looked up to see a white figure. It was emitting light. It must have saw me and sprinted off, down the side of the hill and into the nearby fern trees. What we saw in that forest that day was strange. It defies normality, and I cannot tell myself that it was a part of my imagination. If I think logically about my experience, I heard and then saw this figure. My imagination wasn't running wild, and I was not out in the forest looking for strange figures. Looking back at my experience and others, I can now start to pull together somewhat of an answer. However, don't expect anything definitive. At this stage, some things are just too out of our world to understand. In order to find out what I saw, I went digging and found out about the area's UFO history. Medina, funnily enough, had some strange occurrences, especially during the 1970s. The lights have visited Medina at least 10 times, appearing as white and also red balls of light. Their shape has been described as dome-like and emitted a humming noise. The lights at times also combined and made one large light. The RAAF and the DCA failed to uncover any aircraft or the balloons in the area. They did say an investigation would take place. However, the results of their investigation is unknown.
Back in 1976, when I was a member of the Tas UFO investigation group and involved in investigations, we got virtually a live call from Maydena about some lights that had been seen over the town. And we got in contact with the people who'd seen these lights, and they in turn put us on to more people who'd seen some lights. And there was one particular gentleman up there who lived right next to the church in Maydena, and he eventually was empowered to ring the bell if these lights should be seen again, which they were, and literally hundreds of people in the town were out one night, including the local police and a fellow who did the weather bureau up there, and they saw what they described as usually two lights. They most frequently appeared from down the valley towards National Park, and most times they passed to the south of town over the Medina range and would disappear off in the distance towards the west or southwest. On lesser occasions they were also seen moving away towards Ellendale in the opposite direction. We made a lot of effort to check on satellites and other possible explanations, read the wind, etc., and nothing was ever satisfactorily explained in regards to the Maydena sightings.
While Medina was under investigation by specialists, SM was in Medina when the lights appeared. This is what she had to say. Back one night in 1976, although I was quite young, I was at home with my parents when I recalled hearing the ringing of the local church bell on the main road of Medina. Someone would ring the church bell to alert the local community to certain events, and everyone would congregate at the church to find out what had occurred. After all the commotion, I found out the reason for the church being rung. This particular night was due to the fact of a UFO sighting. I do believe many locals witnessed this sighting, and many stories have been told and are still being told today.
The Derwent Valley has provided the UFO Centre over the years with a number of quite strange events from other parts. In December 1971, we had a very good contact with the local Mercury reporter in New Norfolk, who called us live at the time of a sighting by a contact in Lachlan, who'd been out in his hop field in the evening and thought that there was a helicopter going to crash in his field as this sort of orange light with a bright beam underneath it approached the ground. He fled the scene and called the Mercury reporter. The Mercury reporter came up to the gentleman's house, and on the route up he saw this object in the sky above. They watched it from the residence. With a lot of effort and investigation, we uncovered 3 or 4 other people who also viewed this particular object that night, which eventually receded into the northern sky. This report had quite good coverage in the press, and like many times when there's been press coverage in the past. We were inundated by calls, mostly with no connection to Norfolk, but there was quite an interesting report from the town itself just a few nights later when how do we say, it looked a bit like a fried egg on its side, was witnessed just over the houses in the town. It departed away over Peppermint Hill, followed by a large explosion. This remained unexplained even after the police had investigated the report. If one looks at the files, you discover that all these better UFO sightings occurred in the 1970s, which seems to be the heyday of UFO events in Tasmania, and reports came from a wide area of the state in that particular period, from the far northeast, when people encountered UFOs over roadside paddocks, had their vehicles stopped. And in 1979, the Derwent Valley was no different, when we got onto quite a puzzling case. A young man who would run a message up to Hamilton to the family he lived with or boarded with in Hobart. Somewhere around about the Witter, he can only recall that his car seemed to be engulfed by a very bright white light. The motor, the lights seemed to fail, and he can only recall pulling over to the side of the road. From that point on, some sort of amnesia seems to have affected him, and he only had a very sketchy memory of driving to Hobart. He recalls the Bridgewater intersection, and eventually he was apprehended by the police, I think in Liverpool Street, for driving without lights. I think it wasn't a surprise. I think the car battery might have been virtually flat. He was in a dazed condition. They took him to the Royal Hobart Hospital, who had to assess him, and I honestly can't remember without digging up old records exactly what they found was his condition, other than when they started to shine a light into his eyes, he started to recall what had happened. We had a similar number of reports similar to that in the 1970s, a couple from the northeast towers. I remember a very similar one in the early 80s. Two ladies, nowhere near the Derwent Valley unfortunately, were travelling on the old Bass Highway near Westbury when almost identical events. A large white light appeared, it engulfed the car. They could not remember what happened and sort of came to, still driving along the road several miles beyond Westbury. So over the years there have been quite a number of reports from the Derwent Valley, extending from virtually up the Highlands right down to the Granton area. Thank you.
Maydena and the greater Derwent Valley area sure does have some strange occurrences. However, there is one particular case where the figure appears to emit the same white light that I have seen in Medina. While Medina experienced those strange lights, a woman who had just gone to bed saw a figure in her house. She thought it might have been her young son and called out his name, at which the figure turned into an intense white light which streaked at the window of her daughter's room. If I ever had to try to categorize what I saw in the forest, UFOologists and other believers might try to categorize them as Nordic aliens. They are said to be very tall and emit white light. Mr. Hall, an ex-nuclear physicist, ex-military American weather specialist, said that in 1964 he witnessed the interactions between the military and a group of tall, mysterious white and human-like extraterrestrials. Mr. Hall also said that he had contact with 3 types of aliens, and the tall whites were one of them. Although I'm not personally huge on mysterious alien contacts or conspiracy theories, however, I think it's important to understand what we could be dealing with when investigating. Before exploring our investigation, here is one more case that seems very interesting. Although it may not be connected directly, it still is very spooky and creepy. On October the 21st, 1978, Frederick Veletich, a 20-year-old pilot in the flight training service, set out from Moorabbin Airport, Melbourne, flying to King Island, Tasmania. The reason for Veletich's flight was to log up more night flying experience. Soon after passing Cape Ottawa, Veletich radioed Moorabbin to query if there was another aircraft in the area. They replied, no known aircraft. Within a minute, Veletich was once again in contact. Here are the transcripts.
This is Delta Sierra Juliet. Is there any known traffic below 5,000 feet? No known traffic. Seems to be a large aircraft below 5,000 feet. What type of aircraft is it? I cannot confirm. It's four bright, seems to me like landing lights. The aircraft has just passed over me at least 1,000 feet above. Is there any Air Force aircraft in the vicinity? No known aircraft in the vicinity. Seems to be playing some sort of game. He's flying over me. Delta Sierra Juliet, it's not an aircraft, it's... Can you describe the aircraft? As it's flying past, it's a long shape. Cannot identify it, it has such speed. It's before me right now, Melbourne. How large would the object be? Seems like it's stationary. What it's doing right now is orbiting. The thing is just orbiting on top of me. It's also got a green light and a sort of metallic, like, it's shiny on the outside. It's just vanished. That strange aircraft's hovering on top of me again. It's hovering and it's not an aircraft.
When Valetich reported seeing it again, his radio transmission cut out. An extensive search took place, but nothing was found. Interestingly, prior to his disappearance, King Island residents did report strange lights and UFOs. One sighting did occur on King Island the day Valetich disappeared. The witness was sunbaking in the backyard of her Curry home. The sky was blue except for one cloud directly overhead. Out of this cloud appeared a round white or silver object. It looked twice the size of a light aircraft. It moved much slower than an aircraft as it moved to the west. However, it now stopped, then headed back to its original path. The object was kept in view for about 10 minutes before the witness had to leave and saw no more of it. 5 years later, a part of his wreckage was discovered. The theory was he was flying upside down, and had actually seen his aircraft's lights reflected on the water before crashing into Bass Strait, while another theory explains that his inexperience was a major factor in his fatal death, as he mistook Mars, Venus and other bright stars as UFO lights, while becoming imbalanced and being confused with where the horizon was, leading to him spiraling down, causing engine malfunctions as reported in the transcripts. However, this is just a theory. And now that you have some insight into the mysterious white figure, here is our investigation. Walking into the forest, we head to the area of our sightings. However, it was all overgrown, and it was hard navigating in the pitch black dark.
Everyone's like dead.
So there's a road we can take, and then we go across, or we can just try to struggle up that way. I want to go the road.
Is that way, isn't it?
I think there should be
So, where was it? I remember that black one that went down through out there.
So this is where I saw, like right up here. This is where I saw it. It was like, this is more clear, and it was right up, and it went that way, and there should be ferns over down there. It's a bit dark, I can't see them.
Yeah.
Literally went down there.
The return to Maydena.
Wandering the forest, we kept hearing noises. Trees creaked, but there seemed to be a lack of wildlife. The forest was mostly still, and our mysterious figure was becoming hard to find.
Oh, that's creepy, dude.
We're just passing it off as a tree, probably. It's grown so much.
Huh?
It's grown so much.
Alright. Still looks dead. Holy shit.
Rip the head that way.
Wind.
Rip the head that way though.
Not now though.
No.
It's a cow. Really, Stan? Oh, I'm with Sam. This is where the the road sort of ends, Stan. I mean,
If we go right any further, come out.
I mean, which one would you rather believe? Ghosts or extraterrestrial life?
Extraterrestrial sounds less scary.
At this moment, all of our equipment starts malfunctioning, from battery drains and also from our lights starting to dim and flash uncontrollably. Even the surrounding environment started to become more eerie and quiet.
It's dark without the light. Hey Ben, you're gonna have to go up front, I reckon. Batteries. Hey, what the hell's going on with this torch? These things keep turning off. What the hell? It keeps blinking. Look.
Oh, Jesus.
There's no setting for strobe. Just off and on.
Yep. Is it running flat?
Oh, new batteries. Yeah, no. Wait up for a second. It's just gonna charge it. Yeah, I know, right? That's with Amelie's. I charged
Yeah,
all
but
these
mine
things.
was already dead before I turned it on.
Yours shouldn't have been dead. I checked them.
full bar when we left.
Is that the 7?
It just died.
Is that the other 7?
No, this is the SR11.
Oh, last time the SR11
That just died.
lasted
I charged all
forever.
these, man.
This just died.
That's not right.
The infrared's on, but the camera's dead.
Yeah, the infrared should be right.
Well,
There's a battery in the bag though.
Why is this going retarded all of a sudden? It kind of is. But like, why's my light doing this?
no, I'm dead.
The fuck? No way. That hasn't even been used.
No.
Oh no, that's been used. The Amelia's hasn't been used. That's.
Is there something on my face?
Yeah.
No, it's just your face.
No, you're good. Mine's.
What the fuck?
I feel like a
So mine's
bone
dead.
falling on my
Yeah,
face.
can you just bend? There's a spare battery in the bag. In the bag.
I should have been on to get that.
Yeah,
Yes.
get the battery out
You hold
first.
that then.
Why is it doing that? What? Stop it.
You sure it's not on the wrong setting?
There's no setting.
Oh.
This is off on. It's an LED camera light, not a discover.
Whereabouts in the bag? Like.
I don't know. Stan just said there was.
It's going quicker. That's creepy, man.
Right, I'm not honestly liking it.
What? There's like no setting I could have bumped.
Okay, I reckon we should head back, honestly. It's too weird for me. We're going to do it
Why are the
properly when
cameras
things
dying?
are dying.
We have to go back and charge and come back out again.
Can you charge
No.
it
I've got 32%.
I've got 39 minutes left. Have you got the battery out yet, Ben?
There's no battery.
Ask Stan.
Should be
Stan
another
said there
battery,
was
I
another
packed
one in there.
Should be like a plastic bag. But why is 2 cameras dead? That one should have actually had a lot more. Those should
It
have
had a
been
full
charged.
battery, the SR11.
Yeah, I told you I charged them.
Oh, can we keep heads on a swivel?
It's like a big tree or something bang.
No, there's something on the ground.
Yeah, like something fell down. Yeah, your thing's dead.
I like touching people, it makes you feel safe.
Everything's creaking.
No, there's nothing. There's no battery in this bag.
What about nothing there?
What was that?
I don't fucking know. I want to go back.
Yours is still alive, yeah?
Yeah, mine's just alive. 40 minutes. But that's weird. Why have the two cameras died? I charged them myself.
Hoopla.
And now this is... You're not going to go retarded? I like how this has stopped being retarded all of a sudden.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's doing it again.
Again.
Why? It was fine for like the first 20 minutes. It was never done.
Do you want to film, Ben?
Probably as cool.
There's so many noises here. It's like the trees are trying to speak.
This thing's so useless.
Maybe it's like possums up in the
Yeah,
tree.
something too.
Yeah.
Can we go back, please?
I've got the creepy light.
It's like the forest.
Why is this thing dying?
Alright, what are we doing?
should
Are we
make
moving or are we
make our
going
way
back?
to the other cubby house and then we'll see how we go and then we'll head back.
Cannot explain the malfunctions, although UFO incidents are common for radio blackouts and electronic interference. Here is an example. In April 1979, a taxi driver was heading into Gormanston from Queenstown to collect a passenger. It was near midnight as he reached the high point of the road just before Gormanston. To the right of the road, the driver noticed a green ball, about 1 meter across, which also had a purple edge. The witness then realized the ball was coming straight at his taxi, as if to crash into his windscreen. At the same time, the interior of the taxi was lit up, and it was as bright as daylight. The light went over the top of the taxi, but now the motor lost power and would not accelerate. The driver tried to radio base, but found that the radio seemed dead. The light now reappeared to the left of the road, and then as the driver headed downhill towards Gormanston, all went dark. As the witness collected his passenger, they noted a throbbing distant light moving away to the east. The taxi was serviced the next day, but nothing was uncovered to explain the lack of power. The car radio suffered static after the sighting and was eventually repaired. Now, I'm not claiming our investigation experienced some extraterrestrial intervention, but it's still strange. After the investigation, we tried the light again, and it worked fine, with no strobing or issues whatsoever. Without many working cameras and our light starting to dim, we made our way to the other investigation site. However, nothing else weird or strange occurred after that, but Ben has one more experience he would like to share with us.
What did you see, Ben? That
The black figure.
The black
the back
figure.
figure was up the back of this one. You were there too, yeah?
Yeah, I was there as well. And again, I didn't see it, but you saw it.
It was sort of the same deal, so it happened sort of in that way. So, I think it was up there a bit more. Where the lights were there. It sort of ran down the bank, so I could see it like run between the trees and stuff.
Oh, I think, yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
you remember?
Yeah, I remember this now, yeah.
It run down in between the trees.
I think I was standing like right over around here hitting a little tiny tree. I was around here. Yeah, I remember that.
And then it jumped, made a crash, yeah,
Yeah.
the bang. We heard the landing as well as the environment reacted to it as well.
Yeah.
So birds flew up into, like, you know, just flew up reacting to the noise
Yeah.
or the bang, or if the bird's seen it, God knows. Yeah, kind of creepy stuff. And we haven't seen it since.
Yeah.
I guess this is why we were returning
Yeah.
to
Well,
have a look.
if we had more battery power, which is I don't know why all the batteries, most of them are suddenly just dead. I recharged them today. I recharged them yesterday to prepare for this investigation, but they're just almost dead. They're the only ones that survived, the little tiny ones. That's it. Like the big 4-hour ones are just gone. So I don't know what's going on there. And then this, I don't know if you can see that, but
It's just going nuts.
like it could be easy malfunction, but it just all happened at the same time when all the cameras died. It's kind of weird. Even mine's starting to go dead, but...
Well, can we go back before everything goes dead?
So we have to head
Before
back.
the car gets like broken into.
We have to head back and recharge and see what happens.
Right, do you want me to go ahead again, like just in front,
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
show
you
them
go
everything, like. Oh.
Just don't die.
You know, I'm on my head torch then. What?
Head torch.
What about me? Oh, yours is going.
It is going.
It's just very dim.
Yeah.
Hopefully the thing is not watching us now. The things are.
I think you would know about it, maybe.
Thank you for watching, and you can watch our live stream. There's a bit more content on it in between our cuts, so feel free to head over there in the link above. And also don't feel afraid to like and subscribe, because it just really helps the channel out. Thanks.